So, you know, the car entertainment system is as much a part of the car as the engine. Cars were commercially produced in the late 1800s, and despite that, the car entertainment system only became available in the early 1920s. Motorola were the first to start the car radio. It was quite cumbersome because it required a big aerial on top of the roof. The first car radio, by the way, cost in the region of, at today's rate, about 32,000 kwacha. The next development after the car radio was commercialized was in 1953 when Chrysler brought the record player into the car. I know everybody is thinking about, you know, your typical record player in a car. I mean, it is obviously quite cumbersome if you think about it. So fortunately, it wasn't something as cumbersome as this. Yeah, so 1953, Chrysler came up with the record player for the car radio, but these were 7-inch record players. Muhammad Ali had one in his car. I know a mechanic in the 70s, and he converted his car. He removed the front seat here. He had a Mini Cooper, and he actually installed an actual vinyl record player. But of course, it could only play when the car was stationary. The early 60s saw the 6- and 7-track cassette player. I remember my old man had one in his car. It was very limited in terms of music selection. I remember he had Tom Jones, Otis Redding, you know, sitting on the dock of the bay. Now, the biggest revolution in car entertainment came in 1964 when the cassette player was invented. Of course, it was commercialized by the 70s. Let's see if this still works. Yeah, is it working? Yes. Play tape. Incredible. Let's see if we can eject. Yes. Yeah, so the cassette player, in the early 70s, you know, cars pretty much had inbuilt cassette players, and that was a big thing. And the cassettes had a good run. So the biggest issue with the car cassette was the quality of the output. Yeah, it wasn't at its best. But cassettes had a good run, let's be honest. For pretty much 3 decades, you know, they were a big part of car radios. I remember on a trip once, traveling all the way from Kitwe to Lusaka, listening to one song on one tape. So this was the cassette tape. 1982 saw the first CD player, commercial CD player for the home. So in 1984, the first CD player for cars was commercialized, and Daimler were the first ones to do this. By the 90s, you were getting cars with 6 CD loaders, 8 CD loaders. I remember I had a 6 CD loader. That was absolutely amazing, especially if you were on a long trip. So let's see if this plays. Hey, nope. See, it won't even go in. Yeah, so this was actually quite cool, still is cool. I love this, and I think for me, after the cassette tapes, this was probably the best era, you know, playing CDs, going on those long journeys, and you carried a whole lot of CDs. Yeah, so by the early 2000s, MP3 players were coming in play. You can see there's MP3 or different medias that you can search for. So you had different medias that you could play from. There was a radio, disc, memory card, USB storage, and this, something that I don't really like, which is the big thing now, is the Bluetooth. You can connect your Bluetooth device and play any kind of music that you want from your Bluetooth device. So that's pretty much the journey that, you know, the car entertainment system has taken over the years. For me, certainly the cassette was a favorite part, followed by the CDs. This new stuff, as you know, I'm old school. I'm not too much into that. Peace.